We're live.
Okay. Good morning. We'll call the 8:45 special meeting for the town of Gaston into session. Please rise for pledge of allegiance.
8:46.
8:46, sorry. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, got several things that we need to discuss this morning. Roll call, please. Sorry.
Katina,
Present.
Robert,
Present.
Brett,
Present. Okay. Tracy, where's my list?
Test years.
Okay, so we need to do a new. Reedy's asking us to do a new set of test years for the water rate study.
Yeah.
And we just need to say yay or nay to that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we have a cost for it or not?
It's on our open invoice that we have with them.
So we potentially would not be paying that out of the water.
Is that this right here?
No, those are Coley.
Okay.
Those are wastewater.
A motion to take the recommendation of Reedy's and do a new test rating just strictly for the water, correct? Or water and sewage.
It's the whole test
Okay.
years for water.
Test years for both utilities, water and sewage. That's fine.
Second.
Motion with a second. Please take roll call.
Katina,
Aye.
Robert,
Aye.
Brett,
Aye. We need to, or do we already do that?
We already did that.
Okay. Okay, we had a invoice for the, we'd have the repair done on the truck. It was $200, which was within the allotment of the department. So we just need to pay that.
What was wrong? That's the older truck?
That's the older truck.
One-time dump.
The 1-ton dump truck. There was an issue with the fan shroud. Thought it was the power steering pump, but ended up being the fan shroud. And Ted was able to cut some out so that it didn't make contact. And then replace the wiper blades at no charge for parts. And that was for $200.
So it's just labor now, materials. Entertain motion to pay. Make a motion to pay Pop's Garage LLC $200 for fixing the 1-ton 2006 Chevy dump truck. The amount of $200.
LLS.
LLC.
Out of LRS.
Out of LRS, sorry.
Second.
Motion with a second. Please take roll call.
Katina,
Aye.
Robert,
Aye.
Brett,
Aye. We also need to discuss, so the job posting for the street labor has been posted internally and externally, or just
Not
internally?
external,
Okay,
just internal.
so just internally. And so we need to, the recommendation is to take apps through next Monday. Is that correct? Okay.
However long you want.
Okay. We do have an applicant already, Joe's saying that we only need part-time right now, part-time seasonal, which we do have a spot in the salary ordinance for.
I agree with that.
Okay. So we would note in the minutes that our previous full-time streets laborer has quit, correct?
Correct.
My only concern on the salary ordinance is your part-time, temporary, seasonal, and it also says, and utility streets is $16 an hour, currently being paid out of the sewer. I'm in agreement with going part-time, but I'm not in agreement with paying them out of the sewer. So I would think that when we do the hiring, we would amend the salary ordinance. If you want to take them back to the 17, which is what the previous one was making, and the part-time, then I think that we need to amend the salary ordinance for the part-time job to be the $17 an hour, but not paid out of sewer.
Agree.
So I would make a motion to post,
Do you wanna split it?
however you want to recommend is fine.
I would split it
Okay.
between MVH and sewer.
And I would assume that if we're going to do it for a week, next Monday, if we have a special meeting to do the hiring prior to our regular meeting, then we have that amendment ready at that meeting so we could do the salary ordinance so they could get paid immediately. So I would motion to post the job externally. I spoke with Tracy in the last couple of days. She doesn't believe we need to pay that kind of money to do an ad anymore. So I would recommend, my motion would be to post the part-time, temporary, seasonal utility streets job on our actual webpage. I mean, it's fine to share it on the other pages, but it needs to go on the actual town page, which would be Tracy's office doing it. And to run it from as soon as you get it up, if you get it up today until next Monday, which is what, the 4th? Yeah.
And then are you gonna have an executive session?
Yeah, I just motioned to post the job right now on the town's official page
You said May 4th.
till starting today, if it can get up today, no later than tomorrow, till May 4th at the
Okay.
end of your business hours. Take applications.
Second.
Motion with the second, please take roll call.
And that's for part-time up to 29.
Katina.
Aye.
Robert.
Aye.
Brett.
Aye.
And then when do you want to have an executive session? I could probably do Tuesday morning. I don't know what your guys' schedule is.
I'm in a conference all day on Tuesday.
But this position is basically the same thing that for our last employee, they're gonna shadow him, he's gonna teach him what needs to be done around here, and then
Right.
get doing it, and then,
And work with his staff like the contract says.
okay.
Could you do Thursday?
On the 7th?
Yeah.
Can you do AM?
Yeah.
I can do AMs. I go into work early every day. So, I mean, it's up to you guys. I don't want to mess up your work schedules.
You just tell me when and I'll make it, I'll do it.
So we would go into an executive session.
Yeah, going to executive session on Thursday, May the 7th at 9 a.m. work.
As long as, and then if that doesn't work with the applicants, if they have full-time jobs or something then
Just write a-
just let me know.
Well, they can write a letter,
Well, this is to interview.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Right.
May 7th at 9 a.m. executive session.
Yeah.
And then I would ask that the background checks be done. They're already done prior to us making this. Do you want to go into a special meeting after that to hire?
We can.
What time do you want to do a special meeting?
9:30?
Nine 9:30 works for me.
Do you think you can get it right interviewed then? I mean, for 15 minutes late, okay, 9:30?
Yeah.
So then we would need that salary ordinance amendment at that special meeting.
Yeah. Okay. Then we need to set a public hearing to get the annexation completed
Are you talking to me?
in general.
Say it again.
Public hearing for Segura.
Oh, I was gonna check on that today.
Okay.
So we
So
could
we'll-
probably
so we'll
address
wait
that
on
on the
that.
7th at the special meeting.
Yeah.
Okay. Joe, did you get Tracy an invoice?
I will.
Okay.
We just need to make sure.
So
that-
she can get you paid that way.
Right.
Yeah, we just need to make sure that those invoices are detailed like it, whatever states in the contract.
Yeah. Is there anything else?
Just job apps.
I was curious about, I know at our last monthly meeting here in April, guest speaker Amber Heffernan came in,
Oh,
and I haven't heard any updates on that. I know Tracy said in the meeting that she made a work order. So,
yeah, I haven't heard any
have
update.
you had the opportunity to look at that?
What's that?
It's laying right here.
I'll work with them till they lay them on my desk.
Oh.
Mine and Jack's desk.
Well, I know he already looked at it. Down there where the cone is.
Oh, down here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I looked at that a year and a half ago.
Well,
We need to
Carl took
relook.
me down there.
okay, well, in that year and a half that you're referring to, since then, we had coolies down there and they cleaned it out. And I got called down there over a discussion that Carl was having with one of the staff that was working down there.
Sorry about that. I'm just shutting that off.
We're good.
And I thought it had been addressed because I hadn't heard any more. I talked to the gentleman that was working on her house. I talked to them that was cleaning it out, and she came to the meeting. So to my knowledge, from there till now, nobody's really looked at it. Can you give us in writing detail what needs to be done to fix that?
Well, I can tell you right now what needs to be done to
Okay.
fix it. What's happened is that inlet is an old tile inlet. It's probably older than all of us. It's given away. All right, underneath the outlet pipe is outside of the inlet. So it's creating a hole outside of the inlet, which is undermining the street, which is what I told Carl and them guys, I think back when, I don't know when, but it don't really matter when, but when I went down there a month and a half ago, I mean, there was a hole in the road. That's why I stuck one of my barricades down there with flasher light, because there is a hole outside of that inlet.
Would it be causing a basement flood?
Huh?
Would that be causing a basement
Not
flood?
during.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Probably part of the problem of that basement is a cinder block. So groundwater is probably coming in there. That inlet is not causing her basement to flood.
That's what I want to get at.
I mean, that's not the reason her basement's flooding.
Okay.
If her basement's flooding, they've got a broken line there, or it's groundwater seeping in her cinder block.
Okay, so I know that if we was to repair that it's outside the scope of the contract. Is that work that your business can do to repair the inlet outlet issue?
Yeah, my company can come out in there and.
Could you give the town a quote? Now, this might be something, now that we have a contract with you, that we need to start getting 3 quotes. I know sometimes it's hard,
Well,
but we really need to try. If you could give us a quote on that work, that would help us there. But nobody has come right out and told me that that wasn't the reason that her basement's flooding, so I'm glad
that's not
to
why
hear
her
that. Okay.
basement's flooding.
I knew in my heart that it was. That's why I wanted to ask in
No.
front of everybody so you could explain why.
Here's the other thing. That applicant that I've given you, he can take your equipment and go down there and do all that. He did it for me for 20 years. I never had to follow him around. So So I mean,
So we can
I
reconsider
I
next
want,
week.
Yes.
the extra work, but that could help you out.
Right.
And then, then I don't mind doing a little in there, but he can,
Well,
he can dig that out, but what needs to be done, which wasn't done in here prior, is like you've got the equipment to go to town and pick up the inlet and the frame and covers and bring that back and do all that.
Right.
But you never did before due to your inexperienced help, which is fine. I'm not knocking it, but this applicant can do all that.
So, yeah.
I mean, I have no problem waiting until May 7th. I have no, but a lot, on a safety standpoint, you're gonna have, even if he can do
We
all,
monitor it, and
Okay.
I'm still, when he does that, I gotta come in here and help, but I could roll that under what I do for you guys. Okay? I mean, does that
so,
sound fair, or you
Yeah,
just
and
want
then
me to
once-
give you a quote to do it?
well, I mean, we'll do the interviewing, but I don't mind having a quote from you, but I wanna be able to say, okay, we've had an experienced person look at it, and I want you to be able to go talk to the property owner in a professional manner and explain, hey, we may have an issue here, but this issue is not causing your basement to flood.
Right.
This would be my recommendation if you want to try to fix your issue within your basement.
Maybe. See
We've
what-
never had anybody tell us that it's not our fault. That's what I'm trying to say.
Right.
That's why I wanted to bring that up.
And then I want to make sure that we are still, even though, because it's a little different now that we do a contract with Joe, but Robert's actually over the streets. So really your contact is Robert. And then if he can't answer it, then Brett is the president. But I don't want Robert to be feeling like that he's not doing his part because that is his department.
Yeah.
So Robert, you are the, and
Okay.
are we in agreement?
Yes.
Yeah, I knew that kind of chain of command.
I mean, we all work together really well, we all have.
Yeah, we already talked.
And the only other issue I have is that we need to get some weed killer and I'm getting a lot of complaints on the weeds on the roads, like
I'm doing what I can when I have time. I just don't have enough time to.
and paving, but that's everywhere.
That's everywhere in the state of Indiana.
Yeah.
Yeah, I go through Cicero every day. It's just as
Yeah, I
bad.
mean, it's-
Um,
But here's the whole thing on that paving. People drive through town and complain because it's bumpy. They don't understand what's underneath there. So you don't want to spend hardly any money at all paving that main drag until you fix some of them infrastructure problems.
right, and that's how they got
Or
the
as
way
soon
they
as
were.
you do it, we'll be cutting back across.
And that's why I wish they knew.
Well,
We all know that, and since you are experienced, and I know you do work with county, we're always, not that we have the money today or tomorrow, but we're always looking for equipment to where we can better pave our roads ourselves.
mhm.
So if you hear of any deals on like the hot box and that kind of stuff,
Well, yeah, but we'll go in town and get some hot mix, and I'll get a day where I can have my whole crew up there, and we'll start on one end and go the other with hot mix and a compactor. That's all you need right now. You don't need no hot box and all that that somebody else is wanting to get. It ain't time for that.
I just want to get the roads too there where, I mean, I'm just as frustrated as everybody else, when you pay will tax and you know that,
Right,
So we need to show that we're doing something,
right.
Yeah.
And then council, you already know that, Carl is meeting with the attorney today pertaining to properties. We're going full force on that. I've seen a lot of conversation on Facebook. I will not manage this town from Facebook. I'm just telling you
Right.
Right now.
That's ridiculous.
I will
We never
not,
have.
I will not slander people.
Yeah.
I will not bully people. I will follow the law.
Mhm.
And so that's why we once again are going back to the attorney. Tracy's going with them. Because only one council member can go. We have another issue that Robert's going because he's the most experienced out of the council.
Right.
And then they will follow up with us and share with us what information. I do want people to clean it up, and I have no problem going to court.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to play on Facebook.
Right.
So I think that's very unprofessional.
Yeah.
And I don't have anything else unless Tracy does.
Oh, no big deal.
Are you sure?
Let's get it.
Okay. Seeing nothing else, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn at 9:06 a.m.
Second.
Motion with a second, please take roll call.
At what time?
9:06.
Katina,
Aye.
Robert,
Aye.
Brett.
Tracy, go. We can let that. Is the camera off?
No.
End stream.
And it's an owl. It's an owl, not a camera.